Hi, this is Nonviolence International New York. I'm Lucas Musetti, and this is our weekly update. This week in American politics, Congress is trying to consider some simple gun laws that would be the first step in responsible gun control. The Senate is currently considering a law that has the backing of President Trump and the NRA that would make it easier for law enforcement agencies to update the national background check system. Senator Mike Lee has put a hold on the bill, meaning that what could have been a very speedy process has now been stalled. In the House, however, Speaker Paul Ryan has already decided that he does not want to consider any gun laws until the Senate passes them. Mr. Speaker, we here at Nonviolence International New York would like to remind you that your primary job function is to pass laws.
A light-hearted bump, a boxer's uppercut, a kick of a football, a bite of an apple, an arms raise on the Olympic podium. It is a side of China's president you've probably never seen before.
In world news, we turn to China. President Xi Jinping has asked that they abolish the limit of 2 terms for presidents. Now, currently China has a 2-term limit of 5 years per term, meaning a president can only serve for a maximum of 10 years. Xi Jinping would like to go further than that. Critics say that this means President Xi Jinping could lead indefinitely. They also say this could lead to issues with Communist Party leaders at other stages. As transition goes on, it might cause some stress in that party. The state media in China has enormous control, and they've been fairly successful at limiting criticism within the country. Now, supporters of this move, on the other hand, say that it will add stability to China as it moves into future leadership positions in the world. We here at Nonviolence International, New York, will continue to keep you informed about the situation as it progresses. Vladimir Putin has announced in his State of the Nation address that Russia has cutting-edge technology, including new missiles and torpedoes. The new nuclear missiles that Russia has, he claims, will defeat any defensive systems and in fact render those defensive systems obsolete. It's quite possible that this is just saber-rattling coming from Vladimir Putin heading into the March 18 elections, which will almost certainly give him his 4th term as Russia's president. However, this threat cannot be discounted. It's very possible that these weapons will kick off a new arms race with the West. Putin has also said that any attack on Russia or its allies will be seen as a direct attack on Russia. Now, this echoes a very common sentiment from American and NATO forces. At the time of this filming, on March 1st, President Trump has issued no official statement or sent any tweet on this issue. Putin is extremely angry with the West. He has said, and I quote, "The containment of Russia has failed. No one has listened to us. You listen to us now." The United Nations Security Council recently declared a unanimous decision to declare a ceasefire in Syria, specifically in East Ghouta, which is a suburb of Damascus. Now, the humanitarian situation in Ghouta has been horrible. Over 500 people have died just this week from bombing. In the 24 hours after the ceasefire was passed, at least 24 people died. UN officials have been begging that this ceasefire go into effect immediately. Syria and Russia are saying that this is a rebel area. They need to drive out the rebels. It's a complete humanitarian disaster. The bombs are killing indiscriminately. Children are dying. You can see images of it all over the place online.
We never wanted the war, and we don't want to live under it. For the sake of our children who've been blown to pieces, for the sake of our children who died of hunger, what we're seeing every day has caused us to collapse, both humanely and psychologically. We don't have anything more to offer. We're being bled out.
A UN report this week has said that North Korea might be supplying material and technical aid to Syria in building chemical weapons. Now, back in 2013, Bashar al-Assad, the president of Syria, said that he was dismantling his entire chemical weapons program and getting rid of the stockpiles. However, since the beginning of this war, Human Rights Watch has said there have been 211 incidents where the Syrian government has used chemical weapons on its own people.
The
Syrian government has the right to say what it wants, but it's our job to verify these allegations, and we've concluded that this attack was carried out by the Syrian Air Force.
That is extremely horrendous. And you've heard politicians talk about it, and they've been trying to stop it. It's not ending.
Instead of
being tucked safely in their beds at home, we saw rows of children lying side by side, sprawled on a hospital floor, all of them dead from Assad's gas.
It's not ending. Something needs to change.
Here's my question for every member of Congress and every member of the global community. What message will we send if a dictator can gas hundreds of children to death in plain sight and pay no price?
In more local news, here at Nonviolence International New York, we published a blog this week from our brand manager, Megha Patel. In the blog, Megha examined the legacy of the Beijing Declaration. The Beijing Declaration and Program of Action was a result of the 1995 World Conference on Women and was a guideline for the progress of empowerment.
A celebration of the contributions women make in every aspect of life, in the home, on the job, in the community, as mothers, wives, sisters, daughters, learners, workers, citizens, and leaders.
In the 22 years since the Beijing Declaration was adopted, there's been uneven progress. There's been some areas where there was great success, and there were other areas with failure. You can read more about this in Megha's blog. As always, check out our other blogs on our website and on our Medium page. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also check out our other videos on YouTube. In the meantime, stay safe, stay tuned, and we'll see you next week.